Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of A Day to Gain with Game. Thank you so much, Melroy and Donita in person, right? And in today's episode, we will be taking you through the whole process of changing Donita's life, if that's correct, and the art of hairdressing. Now, Melroy, thank you so much for having me. Really
Pleasure.
appreciate it. Uh, Could you just tell us a few things about what you felt of the interview? Is there anything that you would want to add? Is there something that you wish you should have said? Is there something that way?
Not really. I just wanted for people to know exactly what it is to stand behind a chair as a professional and as a hairdresser. And being a hairdresser is, I think, it's really touched my life and changed my life completely because on a day-to-day basis, where and that's the reason why when I spoke to you about the chair of change, is that we touch people's lives in so many ways, right? Even just with a simple haircut, you know, to see that on the face once your haircut is done, it makes all the difference. So I just love my profession, and I love educating what I do, and yeah.
Yes, and thank you for joining us. Right?
And I'm always a pleasure.
I had no idea she was here, right? It was a surprise, right? So, anything else that you felt that should have been said during the interview? What anything?
No, I think we had, I mean, it was quite a candid conversation. It was free flowing, and it's always nice to know what people are doing, which is why I was keen to understand your journey and why you're so passionate about this in the first place, right? And that's what I keep saying, that that it's not that it was rocket science; it just had to be done, and someone finally took the step to do this. And I think what I've also noticed over time with the limited conversations we've had, it's the consistency that I've seen, and that I think is key. If you want to see real change, so kudos to you, Aubrey, for this vision, and also I think. And also, thank you so much for providing us a platform to talk more about our stories. And I think it's three family members, including my dad, that we're on this thing. But it's lovely. It's lovely to have something like this.
So, just to go ahead, is your nephew? What?
Yeah, my nephew,
Nephew.
my little nephew.
He'll be playing for India very soon. Another
Yes.
8 years.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Now,
Correct.
here's the question that I want to ask: is how could you help them? How can people get in contact with you? How, if they were to ask any questions, how could you mentor?
So basically, if somebody who's really interested in this profession, they could always reach out. I could guide them, give them, hairdressing schools that's available across the country, put them onto the right people, and, and get like a profession in hand.
Right.
I think I can probably start off with, to help and sort of figure out a way of how we can bring people together with the directory that I was telling you about. Because I think the mapping needs to be done in terms of the interest and how we can convert that into something that they can take forward. So that's something I still have to give it more thought, come up with some clear action points that we can always discuss later and see how we can take this thing forward.
Now, Melroy, is my question, the last question, I won't trouble you anymore with this, is uh, how can, what can game do? How should we what system should we work on in getting the youth together, taking the youth into perspective?
I'm hoping with whatever you're doing, we should be able to at least scratch the surface, and once we get to know, and this like the last thing that I spoke to you about is how we can have a place that they can reach out reach out to, and take it from there. That would be the best way. I mean, again, you have so many groups there, so we
Yeah.
can have one for the young youth who are looking out for to get a
Guidance.
footing into or wanting to know what they want to do. That would be a great thing. Use Gain as the main platform and have a group only for the youth to reach out.
She's there next to you.
My name is Melroy Dixon, and I'm here to show you And have you experienced a day of what it is behind the chair as a stylist? Right? And here I have my beautiful niece, Donita. Thomas, and you also see her video. She's a biker and she also works in a corporate, right? Yes. Yes. So let's go first. Now, regarding, it's very important when you're working on a client, it can even be a family member. It's very important for a stylist to understand what your client in the chair is looking for. Right? Well, I know my niece, so I know that she does not want her hair to go short. She's a biker, so she always needs to have her hair tied up. So all these things I have to keep in my mind before I even approach the haircut, which I will show. Yeah. So yes, done. Thank you. Do allow me to take away.
Yeah, I think this much or little
That should be okay?
below. I think this should be fine.
Fine. Yeah. Okay.
And we're doing layers.
Yes, we're doing layers.
Okay.
So we'll keep it in such a way that you can also even tie your hair up when you
Yeah.
want to. And when you want to socialize, you can leave it open as well.
Yeah.
Okay? Great. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
It's incredible. Like you putting your gun and you're gonna
Yeah.
kind of like.
So it's very important that it's make sure that we don't have hair anywhere around.
You want to show the matrix thing? You okay?
Yeah, of course.
The biker chick is ready.
What?
The biker chick is ready.
So the biker is ready to get a transformation. Great.
Do a lot of people when they have events? I first saw that video of you being mobbed by people.
Yeah.
What happened there?
So basically, the hairdressers, when they come into for a show or when they come into a workshop or something, taking a photograph with somebody they're learning from is a very, very big thing for them. And I never take that away from them. So after a show, even I have to spend 45 minutes, giving them that pleasure of, sitting the whole day and listening to me. I take 45 minutes to work at it. Yeah.
Taking the pictures, all right. But they literally mocked you. For a second, I thought you were on somebody else. Somebody else.
I think it's just a very natural instinct that they want to get done with it. They might lose out on it. So I keep telling them it's okay, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be there. I will make sure I, take photographs with all of y'all. That's my promise. But you've seen what happens.
There was another one which I really liked where you were this. This often happen where you're in the center of the stage and then these things happen where you have so many people like ganging up on you. Teach me this, teach me this, teach me this.
So basically what happens is that we have mics in the audience. So we have ushers that have mics. So they have any questions regarding, because being a hairdresser, they learn a lot by looking. They learn a lot by visually, right? And they have their little notebooks, the ads that they write down and take the notes so they can carry back what they learned at a workshop and do it in the salon when they go back.
So there was one where I couldn't hear what was being said. So
Yeah.
there was a gentleman on the left hand side of you who were talking to him. There was a lady between you.
Yeah.
What was the main discussion there?
So the conversation was in terms of, he did a great job in styling, but there were little things that he wanted to know that how could he do it better. And so it's just a conversation as to, as to how much do you think, how well does it look, is it going, is the color placement fine. So it was just basically, he wanted to know how he can improve himself even better.
I do have to just put in a small caveat here is she's not worried, okay? So she said she would do it Not against COVID.
You have my consent.
There's no worry.
Why does she have a rubbery face?
No,
Nobody
that's
looked,
that's my
right?
resting face.
Huh?
No, in fact, I wanted to button at the time when you asked the first question. So
Yeah.
I sort of witnessed that live, and where I think he was recently doing a show for I think 400 or 500 people, and right up from. So the thing is that see, we've grown up seeing him and his journey, right? So and from when he started this entire thing and to where he is today, and things. So we've sort of witnessed the entire journey, and the thing is that what he is on stage is exactly the kind of love and thing that sport or fan following he has. It's the same kind of person you get at home. Like there's no switch on, switch off button. So he's exactly the same person on stage as well as you would find him at home. So for us, so the thing was that for me, it was like one of the biggest opportunities to go and witness the show live, and I did that recently. And then we had close to so before the show, of course, he went in and his team had sort of set everything, and then he walks in. So that's when the entire energy of the room changes. And I was just a silent observer over there. Okay, so I was just witness because obviously he's at work and I'm just there as a family member. So I see the energy shift in the room, in the hall. It was a massive hall that they were organizing this in, and so how everything. So obviously they have to do an entire rundown of what they're planning and where he's going to be standing, and where people will come and ask him questions and things like that. So at that point of time, he's got that professional hat on, and then we don't. Uh, I mean, we just witnessed the whole thing, and how obviously he's done it for decades, so he's good at it. And the best part is that when he's speaking to his team members, the kind of relationship he has with them is not of somebody who's leading, okay? And which is a good thing because I think a good leader always makes sure that yes, I mean you lead from the front, but then you also have to make sure that you're bringing all your people along with you, right? And you're making them comfortable to be able to do that. So that's exactly what he did there. Like the way he had there, the conversations. I mean, he's not serious, but he's still getting the work done, and people enjoy doing that, and people enjoy being in front of him, and and showing him what they're doing and things like that. So once that was done, and then he was ready. So he has, I mean, his signature black shirt and thing that he wears on stage, and so he's all set now, and then he goes inside. I mean, he walks. I mean, of course, they introduce him. So just before they could, yeah, and just before they could introduce him, I quickly went on. I went to to where the audience was sitting, and the hall was full. There were no seats. There was no place because the thing is they had anticipated a number, but there were more people who turned up for the event. There were no seats. People were standing. People were sitting on the stairs, which were in the aisle, and they just wanted to get a glimpse of what he's going to be talking about, and of course, what the event, whatever product they were promoting at that point of time. And the moment they introduced him and he walked onto the stage, just imagine hearing, and I think this was one of the smaller groups. He's done shows which were what with 1,500, 2,000 people at the time.
2,500 was the largest.
Largest group in one thing. Like he had to be. I mean, there was security called in for him to be because he was literally getting mobbed in that thing, and he had to be. And he needed security to be moved out of the thing. But I mean, the moment he walked in, and then you have the roar of accolades and things like that, and people cheering for him to, I think that he finally on stage. And then, of course, he does his thing that he's known for. And yeah, and I think that's when he's just, I mean, it's the natural thing that comes to him when he's on the showmanship that he is known for. That's exactly what I got to witness live. And I think towards the end, that video that you were talking about, so I seen a very similar thing. And for a family member to see that on stage, and I was asking, is he safe? Like, do I need to step in over here? Because I didn't see people, like there were about what 50, 60 odd people who were trying to just get one picture with him. And I was like, is that safe? Like, that's my uncle. Like, do I need to set it over here and think? But thankfully, I mean, of course, they're very respectful, and of course, like he said, that he'll always tell them that I'm here. Don't worry, I will wait as long as you want, so that everybody gets that picture or that video or that question that they want to ask him. Like they're satisfied with it, and only then. And so I think he was longer there. I think it almost took you what 1.5 or something to finish that part, which is after the show ended. So yes.
So that was the thing. Great. So now, like I said, whenever we do a haircut, it's very important for you to have steps that go with it, right? So basically, now since I know that she needs to tie her hair up, so I need to, because cutting hair is not just picking up hair and cutting, it has a system behind it, right? So I need to know the shortest hair that I'm going to cut needs to go into a ponytail when she's on her bike, or when she's working, or when she's in the kitchen, right? So that would be my first introduction as to what is going to be my shortest layer in my hair. Okay, so I'm just going to play it safe, and you create your hairline. So that's my guide to my full haircut, right? Remembering that she wants layers and she wants the hair to be long. So after I do my guideline, I'm just going to take up this whole section. I'm going to elevate it to the 90 degrees to the hairline, because I need to maintain length as I go. Once I get my position and lock my hair in there, I'm going to relax and you cut away, and then you cross check. So hairdressing is all about a feel, a system in place. So it's just not about, just lifting hair randomly and cutting, right? So I created one guideline there to get my top section done. Now I move to the sides. So for my sides, we'll be taking another guideline from this top section, releasing my section at the sides, elevating it up, making sure
This is brilliant.
making sure that I follow the guideline, cross-checking it as I go. And then you drop your section, and then you see that you've created your layers. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Establish a guideline.
Be honest.
Yes.
You travel here just to get your hair cut.
No.
I think not you.
So I'll tell you. So the thing is that I think I'm 37 now, and he for the longest time he was the only person who cut my hair. I did not go to anyone else. I would rather wait for 2 years to meet him and get my hair cut than get anyone else to cut my hair. So, so I think
after COVID,
yeah, but I've only gone there once.
Because yes.
And with which I met with the hairdresser, and I handed over the phone to him, and I said, "Can you please explain to them what do I usually like, and then they're going to do that." So, yeah. But yes, I mean, why not? Any opportunity.
Wait 1 second, that's not done. What is his reaction when he's told exactly what to do?
So I think the hairdresser, the first thing that, usually you have like a family member explaining and this and that, and I was like, no, so I don't disclose his name or anything. I said, just hear what he has to say, because he knows what I want. And of course, and then they're like, okay, he's been quite specific. I was like, yes, because he is a trained professional, and this is why he's giving you all those instructions. And so I think they're quite excited. And then of course, then I reveal the name, and then they know who I'm talking about. So that's what happens.
Have you ever done for any actresses or celebrities?
Oh, I mean, when Aishwarya Rai was just a model in Delhi, I was working at Pivot Point at that point of time. We did, the team of Pivot Point did her hair. Yeah, as a team. But then she's famous. I don't have the time. I mean, I've got offers, you know, to do movies as well, but no, it's very different. I mean, I'm more into educating. I think that's where my interest lies, you know. So I moved to the back and I'm deciding as to the layers that I want to give her at the back.
Should we turn the?
You want me to turn the chair?
If you want to.
Or is that okay? Okay. So, so because she wants to maintain a length, I'm making sure that so this is the first time you're watching somebody do a haircut, Aubrey?
No, I have not actually taken that much interest in it because the way you are explaining it step by step, you're making it more of an art. It's more of a dance kind of thing. It's like you have an artist who's trying to teach you step by step. Because the cinema काट दो इस मिनट बस हो गया. Now, have there times where people have come, so please cut my hair?
Oh, yeah. When I used to be a trainer, it was like given. When I walk into a salon to train, I had to give the owner a haircut if she's there. And training I would give in a salon, and the owner will make sure she's there because she knows that she'll get a haircut for me. And I never refuse. So, in one way, it was good.
No, I kind of because of the light also in the back.
But the light is not good?
Yeah, it's in the front.
So should I turn around?
You could, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
I can speak about it. Just let me finish this
Yeah.
and then we can.
You see, usually the difference is you are explaining it step by step.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're making it more interesting and having it. Otherwise, okay, it's very good.
Correct, yeah. So now you can turn the camera up. Stand up.
You made something which you made into an art. You take for granted.
That's it.
That's the magic, right? So technically, you are a hair musician.
Yes, technically, I mean, well, this is my profession. So, we heard that I learned the hard way. Like how the hairdressing evolved over the years. Even when I was talking to you, the salons, the quality of the salons that you look at today compared to what it was like 25, 30 years ago. It's evolved. Hair has become quite scientific. It's just not about picking up hair and cutting like I told you. And this is only one part of hairdressing. You have perming, you have straightening, you have coloring, you have highlights, the services that you have rendered in a salon is amazing. So for the back again, because she wants to maintain her length, I elevate all the hair up. Still working with a guide from the front.
Have during your time met a lot of Anglo-Indians or from the community coming forward saying that I want this?
I know a few Anglo-Indians who were working with me, as a trainer when I was in Imperial Point. I know a few Anglo-Indians who own salons across the country. But I think it's just like very few of the children tend to take over. And that's one thing I always advise them is that if they have the interest, then only encourage them. It's not necessarily that, because if there's no interest, because this is something that you need to have that interest that needs to come from within. It's just not, oh, because it's a family business. Because then there won't be any no heart in what in the craft that they do. It becomes very mechanical, because you know each one is different and unique, you know. So it's very important that the needs and the wants individually is very very different. So it's very important to a consultation to make sure what is expected from when you're in the chair. And I'm sure most of the ladies who's watching, when they go to a hairdresser, they know exactly what they want. We keep telling their clients, the hairdressers, what they're looking for. Their lifestyle is very important. You can't give a very complicated haircut where you need to have you need to style your hair every time you go out. It's very important to have like a wash and wear when you're not socializing or going to a very good event. You should be able to just shampoo your hair, air dry it, and go. And your hair is like, your crowning glory is in place. So now I will decide the length. I've finished putting my hair in. So can I turn you down so then you can have a side profile. That's it.
How do you, when you mentor and you talk to and you educate them, what is the process? How do you start? What is the first thing you tell them?
So when we start, so now one, when people come into a workshop, they know what they're coming for. Because we have like a curriculum, we have like a calendar, any of our new launches, what's the color trend happening for 2026, what's the haircut that is trending worldwide. So, so we bring the trends to our Indian salons and we train our hairdressers, keeping them abreast of what's happening worldwide. So they know what they're coming in for a color workshop, and they're coming to learn like a new haircut that is going to be seen on all the runways, in all the fashion magazines, and you know. So basically they come in knowing what they are going to learn because they are informed well in advance.
Normally, you're trying to kind of figure out exactly what you want to do. So, how does your first session usually go?
Like what? Come again?
How does your first session usually go? What do you get them to try out? How do they try it? And how does that happen?
So basically, I do a lot of testing with my team. If there's a new color technique, if there is a new haircut, I practice a lot before, before doing it, because I train my team. That's my job. Come up with the trend, train my team into how's it done. We do workshop, we do hands-on workshops, so they're all comfortable because at the end of the day, they go out and train the salons.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
It's a direct thing.
Not really. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly blow dry her hair. I'll show you the blow dry. And then we tong her hair and style her. Yeah?
That's it.
Yo, that's it.
Why do people get so lucky? At the parlors.
So the haircut is done. Donita is looking short.
No, it's okay. Can I complete?
No, because I brought it in front. But when at the back, it is here because she makes sure that she wanted a ponytail.
But how is it being too fast? Because I have sometimes when I go and mom's there and say, okay, fine, just wait for 10 minutes. They take like 45 minutes. It's the same thing.
Well,
10 minutes.
so as I'm saying, if you follow a system, nothing is difficult. Nothing is very, very important, especially in hairdressing. If there are young hairdressers watching me, it's very important to get your sectionings right before you start the haircut. If your sectioning is right, you have zones that you work with. And it's done. Time is done. So there is no, what do you say, wasting time basically.
There's the audience has asked a small request.
Yeah.
Could you take out your comb from your gun slinging thing once and blow on it?
My gun or my comb or my scissor?
Anything that can blow on, like as if you're taking out the gun. Yeah.
Oh God. So again, when you're blow drying, also it's very important to section.
How often do you get your hair cut, Donita, or how often do you go?
Not too often. So, like I said, I usually wait when he's traveling to Delhi, or if I'm meeting him here. And
Very high standards.
Well, my mom is my loyal client. I've been cutting her hair now what? I'm in this profession for 36 years. I've been cutting her hair for 36 years.
Just trial and error. First time you tried on her.
Huh? And in COVID, she cut my hair. My hair.
This one?
Not this. In
No,
COVID,
not-
COVID time.
COVID time.
I have a video of her doing it.
Was she also a hairdresser? Or?
No, she was a teacher. She was a teacher.
Have you ever thought of becoming a hairdresser?
Donita?
Me? I mean, I liked the profession, but I think, fortunately, in our family, we had such a variety of occupation that everybody chose, and so we were never forced in any way to pick a particular profession. We always had the liberty to choose what what sort of resonated well with us. So, which is why I choose a profession that I am, and it's probably the first in the family as well. So, but yes, but then I guess the creative part, I think we've all got that somewhere or the other. But yeah, but I think the hair, so my cousin who's at the back, she's
behind you,
also
she's a hairdresser as well.
hairdresser as
She
well.
had to give up because of the children.
But yes, but she's also a trained.
She used to work with me. She was my first manager with the brand.
And very
But then
good at
she
what
had to
she
give up.
does.
So hold on. How many times did you shout at her?
I never showed. Now I'm going to take another step and I'm going to tong her hair now. Yeah? Is the hair looking okay? Aubrey?
Not okay. It looks incredible. You're using very wrong terms.
Okay? So now I'm just going to tong her hair.
Totally to what?
Tong, tong. So another, I show you what a blow dry looks like.
Okay, fine. Now I can forgive my mom for making you wait so long.
Right?
Now he knows the process.
Don't you have to pass me these clips, okay?
So now here's a maths question.
Yeah.
How in a day,
Mhm.
how many clients can you have if you?
So you take a 45 minute for a full haircut,
Okay.
and depending on styling and stuff, for 1.5 hours. 1.5 should be good. A 1.5 hour should be good.
3, 4, 4, 5.
Depends on how many
Depends on
people.
what's the haircut also. If just a plain trim, that's faster. You know?
I think another reason why this probably takes longer, I think because like what he mentioned, that that the entire industry or the experience has evolved over the years. So it's now not just about going and getting your hair trimmed because you want to look a certain way, but I think it's also the entire experience that because right now it's more of
You
an
came offer services, the
yeah, so it's
luxury
more,
of a salon.
yeah, it's more of an indulgence now that when you go to a salon, it's like this pampering or the self thing that you do, self care. So I think that's the reason why. I mean, even if you look at the way salons are designed these days, I mean, it's more of an experience, and that's the. I mean, it's in addition to the service that they're providing, they're also sort of providing you that experience of being there for that. You're giving. Um, a salon owner your 45 or 45 minutes to an hour. So how can you make that something that that will want you to come back again? So right up from the hair washing part and the equipment that they use there to sitting and getting the thing. So I mean, these days people have taken it a step ahead where they have a little cafe in the salon itself, depending on the place, and then you have, and again, the conversation that the hairstylist has with the customer, because
We are like psychologists, you
yeah,
see. They open up, they talk to you, and it's amazing.
so which is why people are then willing to invest, because they don't look at it as now just as something that you're supposed to get done every month. It's more of an indulgence. So I think that's how things are changing these days, and I think that, I mean, and I think a lot of businesses, if they, what I also thought, if they understand that how do you sell or pitch an experience as opposed to just a service, I think that probably is something that will help them prosper better or do better. So, and that goes, I mean, as simple as, I mean, if you put this thing into, like, for example, with PVR, I mean, it's just a movie hall at the end of the day. And I mean, you go, you pay a certain amount, and then and now they've started, I mean, it's been a few years though, that they started the director's cut, which is, you have limited seats, but you have these recliners, and the service is as good as going, probably traveling in a business class thing in an on a plane. So again, what they're doing over there, and they charge you almost double the amount. And the reason why people are willing to pay that much is also because, again, they're going in for the experience in addition to just watching a movie and things. So I think that's how things are evolving, because I think it's also what has eventually happened over the years is that even the purchasing power of people has changed and evolved, and things. So again, people are not, they're okay with spending or indulging once in a while, and things. So that's how I think that is what is happening these days.
Now, do you think as a community, right?
Yeah.
Now, according to you, now just coming back to the community, what do you think should be done for the community? What should the community do to kind of improve and kind of grow?
I think one of the things. See, I don't think that if I just look at my own example, and something that I had mentioned to you earlier as well, that we had a lot of exposure or connect when we were in school. Fortunately, it was a school for, I mean, where you had a lot of Anglo-Indians and the thing, but that sort of gradually fizzled out when we chose different paths and thing, and we weren't in touch as much. I think social media to some extent has brought some people back together, and where you get to know what others are doing, you're able to stay connected irrespective of geographically where you're placed. But I think for people to stay connected, I think in my opinion, what we can do is that, I guess, one is that we need to explain the need of, or at least highlight the need that that if we don't do it now, it's not going to come back, and I think it's the need of the hour for everything. So I think another point that I also feel is that considering that Anglo-Indians are spread across different sectors and they're doing a lot of good work and things. So if we can in some way or the other build a spacing where at least you have like I'm using in simple terms here, but I mean if you were to have just like a directory of people and the geographical location, so it's similar to the map that you're creating, right? So bringing it back to that, so having the geographical location, the occupation, and what they're doing and how they can help. It does not necessarily have to mean something in financial terms. I'm just saying that any sort of expertise or network that they have. So if you were to have that kind of the map that you've built, if you were to just build further on that, I think that way people don't necessarily have to scout around asking people. You can just go back to that map and then see what fits your thing. I mean, that's exactly what Swiggy or Zomato did, right? You have so many restaurants. What they did was their eureka thing was that they brought an app where you brought all these restaurants together, and that consumer had that one place to look at, and they could probably see which restaurant or which cuisine they wanted to go ahead with, and they could place the order all at the click of a button. So similarly, if we had something similar, a platform where you map all these people with all the occupation that they are in, and and then basis that people can think, I guess that way, because I think these days people don't have the bandwidth or the time to sit and even connect. I mean, you all you want to do is find something that is easy to think on your phone. So if you're able to do something like that, I think that would be the first step of bringing people together, and then of course, having conversations with.
Now, how do you set about doable goals? This is really important. Because
Yeah.
one thing is, okay, fine, I've said it, but nobody's coming forward.
Yeah.
How do we kind of get the youth involved?
I think you have to show them the bigger picture, because I think these days, again, with the youth as well, I think what has also happened is that, see, I mean, practically, we have so much to do, right? In general, like in life, there are too many things that we do. We're distracted with social media to some extent sometimes, and things like that. So there are a lot of things happening. So we just need to bring that down to them. Or probably sort of explain it to them that how this. I mean, if we don't take any action today, it may not. It probably in 10 years, down the line, it probably will die down. So I think what we need to tell them again with actionable points. I think in that sense, I guess the networking part is important, or starting off either with a page and getting people to. I think is going to be the first step to. So
Yeah, I think we have to work on it. Now, when it comes to women,
yeah,
and I'm very aggressive when it comes to getting women on the Anglo-Indian.
yeah.
What do you think the women should do? How can you get them on the front, on the main stage?
I think for say about 5 to 10 years back, a lot of us only focused on education being the primary thing. But these days, I mean, you look at how, and I'm bringing social media back into the picture, because even if you look at, I'm just talking about how you can be financially independent as well as things. So these days, education is not the only medium that you need to be able to succeed in life, right? There are so many things. So anything that you're good at can be converted into something that can earn you an income. So I think a lot of times what tends to happen is that one is of course that that you have to be confident enough that even if it's that one skill that you're good at, you can make that marketable. You can sort of build around that thing. I mean, people are starting cloud kitchens.
Yeah.
And they're earning well, right? You don't even have to be in front of the camera. You don't have to, if networking with people is not your thing, or you don't like going and speaking to multiple people, you can start something from your very own kitchen. So the idea is that one, you need to first figure that out, that I'm going to do something with my life, so this is something that I want to do, irrespective of whatever your age is at this point of time. It does not matter. There are people, I mean, if you see a lot of these success stories that you find on social media, or the multiple things, there are people who are at 80 who have suddenly decided that that this is what they want to do. They're passionate about it, and then they figure out a way, because the moment you have passion and you have that thing of being consistent, they're able to do something. And the end of the day, it's not about building an empire. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, even if you were to do something which can bring you satisfaction and some kind of thing, I guess that is good enough. So that's what I think. I think the first thing is having that clarity that, okay, if this is something that I'm going to do, I'm going to figure ways of how I can do this. Fortunately, platforms like Gain is now also connecting us with different people who are willing to help, and not because of any other reason. They're just genuinely there to help you. So why not use that as a medium to think? And even if it is just about getting advice, a lot of times what tends to happen is that you have a lot of these ideas in your mind, but you don't know how to go about doing it. So if Gain can provide that kind of platform where you connect people to or you just guide them, that this is how you can go about doing it. Of course, you do your research and then you get about doing it. So first is the intent, that you have the intent. Second is consistency, that that now that I've made up my mind, I'm going to do this. The third thing is to be thick-skinned. I think that's very important when you're starting something of your own. And because the thing is that a lot of times, like anything, you're taking that risk of starting something, so there is no foolproof method that is going to that you're going to succeed. So you have to be okay with failures, and I think that is something that I inherently believe in, that that, and I'm quite okay with failures, because I think that's a quote, right, that I've just learned another way of how not to do. So I mean, I'm quite okay with it. And the thing is that it's as good as, I mean, that's something that you can follow on a daily basis as well. So once you have that, there's this trial and test method that you can do. And then after that is how you can, and then see how you can bring in other people who can also think, because sometimes not everybody has the leadership skills, right? So even if there is that one person who takes the lead, the others can just follow and they can sort of be part of that group and sort of see how if synergies match, and then you start something of your own. So
Yeah,
so that's
it's
how you could do it.
all right. Coming to your thing of experience with women, I mean, you've been working
Yeah.
with them, right? What, in your view, has been the most memorable conversations or stories that you've heard?
Uh, well, I think it also depends upon the background you come from. Because a lot of women, I mean, being a hairdresser, you get I mean, you meet women from different walks of life. But I feel that the Indian woman, I mean, from, from what I gathered, from my time when I used to be a hairdresser on the floor, and somehow they're being suppressed at home. Things have changed, and you can see in this generation, they know exactly what they want. They put their foot down as to what they want to do, which is a great thing, which is very important. But deep down, they do have those, you know, that's so deeply ingrained in them, that. So, yeah, but it's changing. The most interesting conversations are mostly about, they want to do so much, but they don't have the opportunities. No support. They either married, uh, you know, entirely dependent upon the man of the house for everything, so, and they're all very highly educated, not to say that they don't have education lacking them. That's the worst part of it, you know. But I think things are opening up now. There's a lot. Now it's very important for a husband and wife to work, to maintain the lifestyle they want to live, so things are changing. But yeah.
And so interestingly, I mean, I work, like I mentioned earlier, that I do a lot of community development projects myself. So interestingly, there was this one project that we were doing for women entrepreneurs. We were basically training these women to, of course, they undergo a certain skill, training under for a certain skill, and then we provide them with some kind of seed money or a kit so that they're able to start something, or at least practice a little more, and then eventually start something of their own. So coincidentally, very similar to what he just said. I was speaking to these women, and I was just, I was quite keen to understand what their journey was, and so a lot of them actually came forward and said that, for them it's probably the first time in 20 years that they've stepped out of their house to do something for their own. And when you ask them the reasons, that they think is a lot of times of course, the family is not in favor of what they want to do. They feel that that it is a woman's job to only take care of the family and take care of the household and not do anything. And even, I mean, sadly, even in today's day and age, we still have that, right? And I think, but the good part is that
It's
she
changing.
was, yeah, it's changing, because she was standing in that room where she was now being called an entrepreneur to some extent, and she's being trained. She's confident enough. She's gone through that training, and now she's starting something. In all probability, she's going to start something of her own, and see, and what I was keen to know further was that what changed, because I mean it was happening for 20 years of your life, right? So when did that switch flipped or whatever? So what she said was that one is, of course, I mean, whatever time had to be given to the family, she was doing all of it. Nothing changed in that front. It was only the confidence and the time when she finally made up her mind that no, I'm not, that my life cannot just be limited to this. I'm going to do something much more than that. And I think a lot of times it's their daughters who give them a little more courage, because they feel that, that they may have gone through that situation, but they're not going to let their daughters do the same, to go through the same thing. And which is why that gives them the motivation to start something. Where we say that, so a lot of times what we realize is that when you speak to these women, what they feel is that it's mostly this husbands that actually say that, that I'm going to support you, you go do what you have to, and then we'll see where it goes. And again, the same thing, like, even with these programs that we support, again, success is not guaranteed. The idea is that it's not just the skill that you're training them with, but also all the other life skills that you're training her with, right? So the fact that she's learning to be confident, she is okay even walking up to the training center by herself without her husband being there to drop her or pick her up. That in itself is a big change, when all you've done earlier in life was just be dependent on other people, whether it is financially or otherwise. So the fact that she's come to the center, she's done that training by herself. Okay, now she's also, and we also try to use a train the trainer model, where she's now training other women to do the same thing, and we're teaching them with small, short marketable skills that can then help her in growing her business or whatever she wants to do. And a lot
We
of
can't
times,
keep him down. Sorry.
so a lot of times, you know, and I think it's just that one change. And when the women decide that that they need to do something, and they're not. I mean, again, at the end of the day, what they also told me was that nothing at home in terms of the situation has changed, but they end up, the shift that they have seen in their family from the time they've started this training is massive. It's because that is not something that they had envisioned earlier. So some of them sort of quoted and said that this is the first time that my family members are asking for my opinion at home, and which is a big deal for her, because she's like, even if, for example, somebody they wanted to extend their balcony, prior to the training or the exposure that she got from the training, they wouldn't have even bothered to ask her for her opinion. But today, this sudden shift that has happened, the fact that they just ask, I mean, it seems very small, right? It's a very small thing that, okay, you're asking a family member for their opinion, what they think that should be done. But for that to happen, it took her 20 years. So we don't have to wait for 20 years, is what my message is. But then the good part to this is that it's eventually happened. And things. So, and I think the expectation is that they're now going to be financially independent in whatever sense, right? Even if it is, I'm not saying that they're going to make like, massive changes in the household or the way it's run and everything, but it's a start. And if she has, or she continues to have that kind of determination, she can move mountains. And that's exactly what, the message that I want to put across. And I'm talking about people that I work with. These are people who have practically nothing, right? And they still have the audacity to follow their dreams. And if they can do it, I think we can very well do it for ourselves.
You learned some hairdressing today, huh?
Me, I tried. Your bag is absolutely.
Oh, I think this is a very small one. He's just
No,
packed something which was
I just took what was
absolute necessary.
requirement.
This is not his bag.
Yeah, exactly. You should see the stuff he has at home. There's one room dedicated only for his work stuff.
So, who's your favorite hairstylist celebrity?
My favorite was Guy Kramer, but I trained first. My first international training was done by him.
And how many times have you gone abroad or
I've been
shows abroad?
quite a bit.
Yeah?
Every year we do 3 international shows for our clients. But before COVID, I traveled almost twice a year for my personal training as well.
So, where on?
London to Europe. I've been all over the place.
With L'Oreal.
We've been to Russia. We've been to
With L'Oreal.
yeah, with L'Oreal. Yeah, great opportunity to travel the world with them. China, everywhere. I mean, all over the place. Paris, US, UK. The only place I haven't been to is Canada. And that's why I told you, I call this, the chair of change, to see how they walk in. And then when they walk out, to see how, they look at themselves and say, like, you to that moment of that, I knew I touched the heart for them to see that beauty in them. Right? So, yeah. So you've seen what my knees look like before?
I couldn't recognize you now.
Yeah.
I can recognize
What do you mean?
Now you play around with your hair. Now you play around your hair. Yeah.
Now a little catwalk?
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
No, incredible, yeah.
Yeah, so just a simple haircut can make a lot of difference. Just a haircut difference. Yep. So thank you, Aubrey.
So, thank you everybody. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. I hope people have gained today. Literally, figuratively, and whichever way possible. Right? And stay tuned for the next episode with A Day to Game with You. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you very much, Aubrey. Bye-bye.